Greetings. Something new to report? Ah, well, then here are your rewards, per earlier terms discussed. I trust you'll find it all useful. Return with the remaining 5 volumes to complete the set, and I shall provide you the rarest rarities available.
Too much Spacer's Ale? Try Auntie's Choice Pep Pills. Good for what ails you.
Doc said nothing important got hit.
Nothing important? Turret shot her 15 times. No way that didn't do something.
I'm gonna get back to bed, Silencer. Now's the time.
Thanks for not crushing my plants, friend. I'm the Senior Principal Chief Director of Natural Studies, Acquisitions, and Monetization on Paradise Island. But call me Betsy. I'm always out looking for exciting new plants, rocks, and critters, but you can likely puzzle that out on your own. Say, you ain't looking for a job, are you? It's easy. Just need to confirm reported locations of a few rare and highly valuable plants. You can keep anything you find. Well, you got me grinning to split my noggin clean in two. But enough of that. I got a stack of reports, but since we're not supposed to be riling things up with the Protectorate right now, I can't go investigate them myself. It might be seen as aggressive, but since you're an unaffiliated freelancer, you could handle this task no problem. Just go to these places and verify if the resource is there or not, and report back to me. Friend, more specifically, it's typically found near Zeranium, so it's spread along with the Protectorate civilization, since their technology is mostly powered by Zeranium. Extremely toxic and fairly volatile, but it's a right... You'll know it if you see it. It's black and silver, and it sort of hangs in the air on account of it being the same density. Don't go near it. Even a full... straight? I got 2 reports so far. One near the Automech Repair Center in the southeast corner of the island. The second is to the north of here and a little And again, friend, anything you find is yours. I don't want to get audited for unapproved stock. Just...
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code 472.
Oh, great. A 472. Been a while since I had to dodge bullet spray.
Word is Milver Street is ordering a watch on the Protectorate survivors in Westport. Once any change is reported. I hate that kind of work. It always sounds like so much effort. That kind of thing ain't even on my contract. Milver Street is offering bits rewards for anything of it.
If you're wondering why there's so many engineers sitting here on their rears, it's because the dang Crobbles ran us out of the desalinator. Now we're stuck here on standby wages. Hope you ain't jesting with us, friend. Can't wait to get back to making full-time wages. Thank you kindly.
You look unfortified.
Peddle your wares elsewhere.
Getting enough emulsifiers in your diet?
How do you eat Purpleberry Crunch? Real warriors eat it right from the box.
I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their actions. Find me in the renovated grain silo. Help me formulate a cure. Hello? Calling out to any random, non-kill crazed passerby who can hear this? Yes, you. I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their actions.
Where'd following the rules ever get anybody? It's like the rules are just a guide for what not to get caught doing. And all this is just sloppy. Now what? Heard something. Squaring up.
Covering me, you sniper!
Closing in.
cut! The flank! I'm the aggrieved party here.
Hunkering down!
Presently persists perturbation.
Isn't this lab meant to be secure? Doesn't anyone else have standards in this place? Rolling up my sleeves.
Oh, you're likely affected too, aren't you? Scream twice for yes. Could it be? You seem an honest-to-goodness rational human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. I, Elmet Ormsby, product envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious... Yes, tragedy has befallen a number of my subordinates. I will trust you not to butt. Back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me. As an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt whole thing was ghastly. When he failed to return, I peeked they'd clearly been exposed to some virulent new form of experimental agent. I ran back and locked myself in this test chamber to avoid contamination. Well, you'd certainly think so. but management sets the goals. Our humble research team works to deliver. Our lab had been a local spore sample to a somewhat homicidal degree. Well, of course. You see, it all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interest. Well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think? Oh dear. It's occurred to me this might benefit to some extent from medical training. Are you perhaps someone well-versed with pharmacological matters? Apologies. I do tend to assume everyone has a doctorate. No matter. Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions? We'll need two things. Fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the... After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course. Spore samples may be taken from a red plant indigenous to an area of tall rock formations northwest of here. The research team's findings are on a terminal in another building on these same grounds. A satellite lab to this one, if you will. Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remains.
Goodwin here. Field report update. We are approaching the Raptidon den. These beasts have exhibited excessive irritability as of late. We endeavor to determine why. Surely the red spores aren't to blame. Wind-borne spores lack the catalytic agent of our food additives. Only way to be certain is to gather a stool sample. Simple enough. A routine task for the Audacious Advances field team. Quiet now as we approach the rap's nest. Certainly the spirited variety will offer... Oh, no! Oh, okay. We need to run now!
We're leaving.
Shift's over. I have a wife outside this place, you know.
Alive! Outside our lab? No!
Excuse me? Well, that was frustrating. What? Now! That does moving in!
Still can't reckon how Slauson got kicked up the ladder before I did. All I get is more tasks, more pressure, and fancy new designation. No spread f***ing raise.
Excuse me?
Heard something. Ain't nothing there.
Never recognized, never commended, but don't be resentful. Wouldn't anybody be? A profusion of reasons why. Ask anyone. I heard that.
Full of indignation about anything and everything.
What was that?
The void was that? Heard something.
What gross misconduct?
Still can't reckon how Slauson got kicked up the ladder before I did. All I get is more tasks, more pressure. No fancy new designation. No spread fucking raise.
What came over me? So touchy today. Any little thing I I swear and... You're from HR, aren't you? Heard something. I'm warning you. I presently persist in a state of ceaseless perturbation.
Aha! Allow me to give this a cursory eyeball and... perfect! I'm sure we have the correct neutralizing agent here in the lab. I'll nose out the exact compound within our chemical reserves in 2 shakes of a rat's tail. Well, it's a textbook example of the medulla oblongata wagging the cerebellum. Although, frankly, there's a plethora of ways to stimulate the reptile brain into such a flurry. None of the previous methods were anywhere close to being this commercially viable. But where there's a will, there's a way to make a profit. Honestly, this whole process is 1 part scientific testing, 2 parts improvisation, and a dash of pure, undiluted panache. Exactly what we do best. But it's only a matter of time. Normally, I'd say perfection can't be hurried, but... enable the device and it will beget a working antidote. I cannot wait to put this entire sordid affair behind us. Though in the end, this should turn out to be quite a lucrative day. I saw you working the chemical synthesizer. I presume you were successful in creating an antidote? Nice try. But you don't possess nearly the negotiating power. Not when I can simply bide my time and wait for another gormless dunderhead to stumble by. Not budging? Oh, all right. I suppose I'd be willing to throw in a little extra as a merit bonus for your superlative performance. Wonderful, wonderful! Knew you seemed a bankably reliable sort. All right. I am activating the air filtration system. There. Should only take a few moments for the antidote to circulate. Everyone still alive should be right as rain shortly. Marvelous. You'll find your remuneration in the chest behind me. My supervisor will hear of your actions. Oh, and before I forget, I, Omid Ormsby, under the power granted me by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, hereby free you from impressed service to Auntie's Choice. Be seeing you.
We were sent to relieve the troops here? What went on in this place?
Don't even think about disrupting the marketplace.
Well, that's not the first time I've blacked out and lost a day. I miss anything?
How about I do my job?
And you do. Whatever it is you do. sent to relieve the troops here? What went on in this place?
Mind your own business interests.
I trust you'll see yourself out.
This place was quite the scene when we arrived. Any idea what happened?
We're closed. Did you not hear me? This place is closed. No learning today about how everything happens according to the obscure calculus of an indecipherable plan. Why are you asking? Who are you?
The people she tried to kill.
By the architect. I had no idea. I wish I could say it was unbelievable. I was afraid she was becoming a danger to herself and to others. But this is horrifying.
Yeah, imagine how we feel. Why don't you tell us where she is so we can make sure she ain't being a danger to herself or others?
And how are you going to do that?
That ain't something you ought to be concerning yourself about.
If you think I'm going to help you do what I think you're talking about, you are deluded.
I may be deluded, but you're lucky you ain't dead. Seeing how she seems partial to using her friends as victims.
Does she? It occurs to me that you have provided no proof of what you're accusing her of.
Why don't you take a long look at me? This is all because she betrayed us, her team, her friends, even the one whose life she saved in Triangulum.
By the architect. You're Niles, aren't you? She mentioned you a few times, but refused to elaborate. All I knew was that she was fond of you, and that you were dead.
She was fond of me? Then why? Why would she try to kill me?
I can't say, but it may be one of the things she anguished over. An anguish I fear finally overwhelmed her, and could likely be what's driven her to her present course of action. I wish I knew. It's nothing good, I can tell you that. I haven't seen her since before the corporatists invaded the island. I'm afraid she's going to do something terrible, but I just don't know what. Maybe none of this would have happened had I not introduced her to Victor. How did... You saw her terminal, didn't you? Victor's an Order archivist. We were all friends for a time. But then, shortly before the schism, they started talking to some others inside the Order. That's when things became tense. I started to become uneasy, scared, really. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much for me. Among other things. For some reason, she was obsessed with the cliffhanger ending of Chapter 6. It was the one where capitalist fanatics brought complete destruction upon Arcadia. But you know how it works. It was somehow miraculously saved at the beginning of the next chapter. Didn't matter to DeVries, though. She just kept going over it and over it. Would have talked to a Crabble about it if there was no one else to listen. That, and the invasion itself, set her mind to dark things. I begged her not to go down that road again. She was so agitated when I first met her. Must have been 7, going on 8 years ago now. She never slept, didn't talk to anyone if she could avoid it. After we became friends, she began to change. Still bothered her from time to time, but I thought it mostly behind her. I couldn't watch her go back to how she'd been. Or worse. No. But it had to be someone's fault, right? The Protectorate couldn't possibly have failed to safeguard the colony. And they had to answer the accusations the Order leveled at them. We became friends when she She said, for some reason, she interceded on my behalf with an arbiter. And she convinced him he didn't hear what he actually did. No one does that. Void, I didn't. We all were, originally, before the schism. Which was... She even continued to sign her messages, "See you in the equation." It's all so confusing. What do you mean? It was where she worked. One of the Protectorate's communications hubs. She didn't speak of it much. At least to me. She may have spoken to Victor about it.
She ain't the only one.
It's difficult to explain. She spoke up. She said learning the truth of... Some days I wish I'd never...
Know a little something about that, too.
It is inexplicable to me as well. After the corporatists invaded Paradise Island and took over Fairfield, they seemed to let anyone in there. Some boisterous fellow even tried to recruit me. No.
That sounds like it could be her agent identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. I'd hoped she'd left something for me, but the safe was empty. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but when you find her, please remind her of who she used to be. She's unwell, but I know there's still hope for her. That's all I can... Welcome back to my chapel of fear and futility. It was a code she used for everything. I'm ashamed to admit, I did break into her safe using that code. Was hoping she'd left me something, but it was empty. She did say once it had some meaning from her previous life.
That sounds like it could be her agent identification code, Commander.
She said it had some meaning from her previous life. She kept getting angrier with the Order the more she worked with Victor and her other contacts. On top of everything else, it became just too much. I know I've no right to ask this of you, but that's...
slowdown. Schultz went where? 6-5. Schultz!
He went off to relieve himself, but I reckon that was a handful of hours ago. You don't think he took it literal, like when we told him to jump in a roof, do you? He couldn't be that literal.
This is a humbuggery-free zone. Thank you kindly.
Anyone got lamps on Schultz? Anyone? Floyd be damned. Sallying into the wire like that with nary a wish in her pocket? What was she thinking? Did I not make clear our orders to hold the line here regardless of provocation?
I'm afraid there's more bad news, Commander. She also took Scrabbles.
Would that he'd done her more good. Seems Calamity has claimed... You there. I don't normally sanction nameless passers-by giving ear to my private discourse. That right. Earth Directorate. Not many would claim such affiliation these days. None from Arcadia have the knowledge to lie about it. What's your business at the Vox? Sounds serious. Were it in my power to offer aid, you'd have it. Alas. Whatever your purpose, I feel a contractual obligation to warn you against setting a heel past this base. If you go any further, no Antes forces are permitted beyond the forward position upon pain of disemployment and possible litigation. Our orders are to sit and mind the store for as long as need be. Foremost, I'd advise seeking a stealthier means of crossing the bridge. A direct approach is likely to repercuss in a hanging cage and a slow death. Our initial reconnaissance of the bridge indicated a breach in the western wall that could get you inside. Schematics we managed to acquire also list an access tunnel on the eastern wall, but be wary of mines between here and there. The wire is full. First Officer Schultz's decision to enter the minefield was not sanctioned, approved. Schultz was a good... By steadfastly holding the line here, we forestalled any retribution the Protectorate would seek to inflict upon... I'd thank you to affix some ballast to... Scrap... Schultz obviously knew the risks, and hoped he'd protect her through the minefield. Alas, even... I'll pardon your skepticism given your lack of acquaintance, and say only this. Ask not what Scrabbles achieves for us, but what we can achieve before you do.
Take a look at those corpses they've got strung up. Wait. Some aren't dead yet.
This is Protectorate territory, all right. Ain't looking to instigate anything, Commander. But if these bastards make any threat on my person, no promises.
Stay out of the minefield if you value your limbs. I'll be spaced. Scrabbles! And hardly the worse for wear! Scrabbles was originally a gift. He's up here. For your trouble. Livener like that comes in handy when you're in a pinch. Before you depart, a final word.
Look alive, Commander.
Ready to waste, huh? Hey, got a distraction for you.
Eden's hinterlands would be more pleasant if Auntie didn't airdrop them raptidons willy-nilly. Sure makes getting from A to B a pain.
Blame Spacer's choice. They're the ones who first weaponized livestock in such a manner. Auntie just acquired and rebranded the idea when she... when she came to Tau Ceti.
Right. Poor Auntie. Her hands were tied. I heard you all bred the raps for diet toothpaste and such originally. Only taught them to heal and kill later.
Ain't sure who you all is referring to. Me? I prefer for the raps to stay wild. Free. They're better off out here than in cages in a cargo hold.
Better for them, sure. Not so much for us.
I must say, I have many reservations about this. The Protectorate has always provided for us. For what reason would we forsake such a stable and safe way of life?
Because, friend, with the Protectorate, you're only surviving. With Aunties, you'll be thriving.
So your superior... It's not a totally baseless idea. That should totally be annihilated, just like all capitalist propaganda. Praise the matriarch.
Conversation is not possible at this or any time.
Careful of friendly fire if you head down past the farm. Last time we wandered past, they opened fire on us. A real code.
Who goes there? By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. How observant of you. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Outsider?
Prudence dictates. We cherish all we have and defend it.
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshal, you're acting as though I'm not standing here auguring the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing, but not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. Well, prepare to be disappointed. We've got a gas leak, if the color of the sky hadn't. Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals. Though we may not last long if we fail to repair the Zeranium leak. I wouldn't have put it in those terms, but the Vox Relay Station. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype Zeranium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. That's the spirit.
Marshal, should they go berserk, we may...
Then perhaps you had better explain to...
Montelli?
There's a good...
Consider finding a human
Outsider?
companion if you seek conversation.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Stay true, outsider.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it.
Yes, another humdrum workaday ale. Don't have much to spare. Well, look who it is. What is it this time? Oh, what would you like to know? Total avoidance. Come to think, our visiting scientist next door is Zeranium. However, it's all in this gaseous state. Zeranium is quite...
Not for bad company.
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth.
Another humdrum work. Don't have much...
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Zeranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displays standard overload-induced paralysis and became
Oh, yes, I adore interruptions. Now, what is it you want? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. Assist me, and you'll get more than bits out of the equation. You'll get a Now tell me, are you familiar with Zeranium gas? One and the same. So what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Ought to have the prototype up and running. Just a few small operational details left to untangle. Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance regarding its key components. Good. Now here, merely activate the device once it's in. Try to avoid any fields of dense uranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that ideally the resulting shielding will protect against any gas. But since it's well, of course, if you suffer prolonged exposure, I believe. Oh.
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. The Marsh, if even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Brigadier, the Marshal is a good man, but he values, you'll want to see the quartermaster. She's right next to the gate you entered through. She'll only be able to sell you our
Did the authorities send you? What a relief. In here I thought myself dismissed as a loon. Ah, good. A captive audience. Money well. You must. No one at the facility believes me, but I've seen it with my own eyes. Crabble numbers have swelled. You... No, stranger. Remain strong, and together we will out...
Greetings, but state your business. This unit was engineered...
Oh, this is surely exciting.
Command...
Huh. I thought that would have put it into sales mode.
Always...
Sorry.
Lull detected. Conversational status uncomfortable.
Does that one compute, big guy?
Affirmative. Initiating commerce is one of this unit. Initiating com.
Oh, name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. Passed during the attack. Excuse the mess. The old wardens paid the price. Where their courage faltered, a little mental See you soon, I hope.
Not sure we should get any closer.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? What did I tell you? Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms? Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. Capital deduction! Where have you been all my career? You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. You guessed correctly. Our chief mechanist was rather hostile, so you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we don't want to be caught No doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of... You must have seen the large auto... Good. Fail... One left... Well...
Yes? She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand. The original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic crap? I can't. I won't. If you're really so desperate, you can track down our second Dragoon. Damn thing wandered up the coast and hasn't been seen. I'd have sent someone to retrieve it myself, but Dragoons are stubborn when their instructions are unclear. Good hunting.
Well, any closer to obtaining the cat? Oh, superb! I'm almost With this gadget, you'll be shielded again. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. You do...
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Whether or not you're able to help us, Uranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution. Last I thought, I knew Dr. Bryant would come through, seeing as you're the only one. Make your way inside, and be careful with that terminal. We don't want the situation getting any worse. Why in law's name would you want to know that? Now that is Protectorate diligence at its finest. I suppose if some computational greenhorn left, even good thing we don't. Any further questions? Don't worry about... Yes, that shouldn't... But that...
Anyway, need something, Commander?
Sorry, ain't ready yet.
done. The Zeranium now spews from the hangar more thickly than ever. The damage must have been more advanced than we thought. I knew I should have pushed the repairs earlier. Sure, a few may have died, but the mission might still have been salvaged. This is my fault. The blame lies squarely on my shoulders. I gambled on an outsider rather than trusting. With this failure, I have likely doomed this entire island to the tender mercies of our enemies. No more will our stalwart subjects reap the bounty of this land. No more would the pleasant whine of servos accompany our mechanical servants in their noble. Instead, this island will be trampled by the boots of our enemies, as our stewardship is cast aside like freaks, and worse, will despoil that which is left behind, while bureaucrats will use this once proud land as a springboard for their superficial, and with the eye eating their way deeper into Eden like ravenous maggots. And it will all... Yes.
You're back, and in one piece. I assume you have good news, and there's our data points to the east coast of the island, the far southwest, and just this side of the ravine, almost straight north of here. You were born... My favorite new scout. Did you find the ferrochromium deposits? Good work.
choose just any choice when you could choose choice?
I've been bartering with the defectors. Traded one forced rocket for a whole tin of prestige force blow.
Someday, when I make it big in lower middle management, I'm gonna come back here and buy this cruddy.
Always have time for... Loose your words. I'm listening. Scouts reported a plume of smoke thick and wide billowing from the facility. Sure didn't seem to be mechanical exhaust. Got more to report? Now, let's talk helping you. There's a bridge gating entry to the northern part of the island. You want to get to the Vox? First step is getting... There's an alternate path, but it's blocked by Zeranium. I'll order my troops at the forward operating base to aid you, and you'll punch through together. From there, your target's the Skycutter Tower. Seems it was recently reactivated, and by our engineers' metrics, might be useful in overloading the Vox's defenses. A heap of fighting. The Yaysayers sense they'll soon be cornered and fight all the more fiercely thereof. It won't be easy. Oh, Auntie! I cannot believe what transpired! My troops defied their orders and captured the bridge! Sound convincing? Considered a career in the wouldn't trust the Protectorate's over-engineered perfection to cook a spratwort. If by some miracle your contraption doesn't turn you inside out, it'd give you a much quieter route to the Vox. Much as I'd like the bridge's clearing. Once you pass to the northern end of the island and enter the Skycutter, you'll need to find the tower's power routing controls. Mayhaps you can wreak some chaos at the Vox. Step light, though. There's no Protectorate gallivanting near the tower, which, like as any, means something bloodthirsty lurks within. Stay intact.